Welcome to episode 56 of Cocktail Hour. I'm Andy.
And I'm Rev.
And this podcast is actually being recorded on New Year's Eve.
Yay!
Yeah,
Happy New Year's Eve.
Yeah, Happy New Year's Eve, everybody. We thought we'd just, wait a little bit and experience the joy of New Year's Eve together.
Yay!
Not that we're going to be up till midnight, mind you. We're going to ring in the new year and say goodbye to 2012, which for the most part was a big pain in my ass.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of years, but we were reunited.
Reunited and it feels so good. I hate that fucking song.
I know, I do too, but I figured, it was a nice setup and you get, it's a guaranteed sing-in spot for you.
Yeah,
and it does feel so good.
And I can't sing worth a damn.
You do fine. You do fine.
My God. I remember at 12 years old, my aunt said to me, honey, your timing is great, but you can't carry a tune to save your life. I'm like, bitch! And she looked at me, pulled over the car, and wanted to smack the hell out of me.
And now look, you're singing on a podcast regularly for hundreds of listeners.
I know, right? I almost want to drop her a line and say, "Hey, check out this podcast."
There you go. So there, bitch.
That's too much. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audio book. Download at www.audibletrial.com/cocktailhour. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Yay!
I know, right? That wasn't a real smooth transition, but I said, F it, let's get it done. And
I like doing them right away at the beginning. And, I think that, we're not just doing this for the $15 that we get every time somebody signs up.
Yeah.
Andy and I are really actually big on audiobooks now.
Yep.
I just bought 3 this week. You bought a couple, right?
Yep, I did.
Yeah. So, this is something that it's not only a good way to help us pay for giveaways and the website and, all the other costs that we incur for this. It makes us feel good because we actually want you to take advantage of it because it doesn't cost you anything. And I know for me, audiobooks have really opened up another way for me to, I read almost solidly my mainstream books through audiobooks and save my reading for lesfic and fan fiction and stuff. And I finally finished, I think we've been talking about that I've been reading Roots or listening to Roots for the past couple months.
Yeah.
I finally finished it yesterday.
You did?
I did.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I really want to see the movie again now, the series, but I really liked it. It was, it was very good. I liked it a lot.
Did you find it super depressing?
Parts of it were, but other parts were. The thing I think I found most interesting. I found the most interesting in the very beginning, where Kunta Kinte is in Africa and he's growing up, because they take it from him being born to him being him in Africa being captured, and then his trip over. That was the most interesting part to me, and until the very end when Alex Haley is born, and then from there he talks about the process that he went through to research this book for years, and that was just fascinating. It was really very fascinating. It was very good.
Sounds like money well spent.
It was. Oh no! I got it for, and that one I got 2 for 1. I got that and Grapes of Wrath.
Oh wow! Talk about depressing.
Well, because I've never read Grapes of Wrath. There's so many classics that I've never read.
Yeah.
And this is another way for me to do it. And I think I got both books. I think for $10.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
They have a big ass sale going right now. I think there's more than 100 books on sale for $7.80 or something like that. Because my sister-in-law said, I got an email about it, but my sister-in-law sent me another one because we were talking about how I should read The Fault of the Stars, or The Fault in the Stars, or something like that, which was just selected as best YA book of the year or something.
Oh, wow.
And that's in the sale. But
Sweet.
I only have one credit left, and I don't want to spend any money, so I'm probably not going to get that one.
Well, speaking of classics, I highly recommend that you try East of Eden by John Steinbeck. The really sad part of that, the book is really, really good. Really, really good. But the movie that was done, that had James Dean in it,
mm-hmm.
and if
either.
anybody's ever seen it, it's like the last third of the book. And I don't know who thought that was a fantastic way to showcase the story East of Eden. I mean, it's an epic book. And they do the last third in a stupid-ass movie. Now, fortunately, back in, I think it was the 80s, they did a miniseries. Remember when NBC and ABC, did like one big miniseries or two big miniseries a year, or it would be like a whole week-long thing?
Yep.
They did East of Eden with Jane Seymour and I think it was Timothy Bottoms and Bruce Boxleitner and some other folks that you would know and that were popular in that time period. And it was fairly faithful to the book. I was pretty damn impressed with it. They left out, because it was only, how long, but, they left out a family history of another family that was involved with the main family.
Mm-hmm.
But they did a really good job with it. And I am going to actually get that book on Audible once I have a couple of credits under my belt, because you just can't go wrong with that book. It was fantastic.
I'll put that on my wish list. Thanks.
Yeah.
I did want to point out, like I was searching around just a few minutes before we started recording, looking for some new books to see if there was any new lesfic available at Audible, because I like to check, and it's exciting to me because I'm a big, huge fucking nerd. It's exciting to me when I see new lesfic available in different venues. And they have Too Close to Touch by Georgia Beers now.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-oh. Look out.
Well, I read the book, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't one of my favorites, but I don't really remember much about it anymore, except that it wasn't one of my favorites. But if I have an extra credit laying around, I might do that. And then the other one, I think I heard from somebody that I can't remember who, but Hostage Moon by A.J. Quinn is also available, and that's like a serial killer stalking psychological FBI profiler mystery romance-y type thing.
Oh, that sounds good too.
Yeah, so that's available now too. So if you're looking for lesfic, you can go to audibletrial.com/cocktail hour and pick up one of those.
Yep.
So there.
Yeah, there you go. Well, Rev and I decided that we were going to have a little champagne.
I'm having some right now.
Me too. And I just want to curl up and take another little nap.
You just woke up from a nap.
I know. Champagne, I really actually didn't wake up all that well, I don't think, because I just slept like a stone. I put everything on, do not disturb, and I was out. Yeah. So I'm still feeling that lethargy, And then I'm having champagne now. I'm like, oh, God. But we'll make it through.
We will, and then I'm still a little sick, so my energy levels, bad. And it really sucks because all last week I was sick and on vacation.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, so I don't think I read maybe a few lines all last week.
Oh.
So yeah, wow. So I read. Luckily, the boar hunt was really short, and I knew that, so I was counting on that. So I finished that today.
Oh, good. And that's a good lead in. That's one of the stories that we're going to talk about, The Boar Hunt by Xenofire. And then we're going to follow that up with Exposure by XWP Fanatic and T. Novin. And we've actually talked about other stories written by those two authors independently. And so you're going to be in for some really interesting story and dialogue when you get a hold of those two.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's start out with Boar Hunt. You want to do a quick and dirty little summary on that one?
Yeah, sure. We need to point out right away.
Oh, yeah.
And first off, this is the listener's choice episode. So both of these stories were suggested by listeners. So thank you, Gloria and Elena and Nikki, for suggesting. And the Boar Hunt is a short Conqueror fic that has Xena going out. Well, let's see. Xena is very vicious in this one. She's pretty cold-hearted. She's like the author says in the disclaimers. She's not looking for redemption, and Gabrielle her role is different in this. For the most part, it wasn't as different as I thought it was going to be, but her role is a little different than normal. She's not a body slave. She's not a revolutionary or anything like that. So Darfus, who is Xena's second in command, is plotting a coup, and he's going to try and either kill himself or have Xena assassinated and usurp her power and all of her possessions and become king of the world.
Woo! Yeah, it's the king of the world ploy.
Yes, exactly. But Xena knows, she's a smart woman and she knows what's going on. So she puts a plan in motion to outsmart him and leaves the castle a few days in advance of when everyone thinks she's going to be leaving the castle, and decides to do a little boar hunting. Mm-hmm. She gets skewered by a tusk and mauled by a mountain lion at the same time. Yep. And wonderful Argo whisks her away to a farm where Gabrielle is staying, cleaning out her dead grandmother's house, and that's how it starts out, with Gabrielle saving Xena's life.
Yep. Very nice summary.
It's a really short story.
Yeah, it's about 30 pages or so?
I think it was like 56 pages.
No, it was short, though, because usually when I like a Conqueror story, I like it to be epic.
Yeah.
So this was kind of like, cut your teeth on something and then move on, because... Yeah. It wasn't that long at all.
It had the end with a bunch of question marks, but I'll just put it out there right away. I did not like this story, and if we weren't reading it for the show, I would have stopped almost immediately.
Yeah, it was. I get it. I read this story a long time ago. Probably back in, I want to say 2006.
Yeah.
And, I don't remember how long it's been out, but I think that was when I first discovered Conqueror fic, and I was just excited about the genre, and I was just eating up anything I could find.
Yep.
But when I reread it for the show, I thought, it's a little transparent.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot to it. I don't mind a short story if it's a good one, but, there were things left hanging, like, the grandmother said that Gabrielle was going to pass from this world in a short period of time.
And her mother said that too. And Gabrielle did not die.
And she didn't die. It didn't even be brought up as, maybe it was like a rebirth, like it wasn't a literal death. It was like maybe a, spiritual rebirth or something. Nothing.
I know. She put so much emphasis on, Gabrielle, I'm really worried about you traveling to Grandma's house. So if anything happens,
right.
So we're just all waiting for something to happen, or maybe she's going to throw herself in front of a sword to save Xena.
Right.
Nothing.
Left flat-footed. I was just like, what?
When I read the disclaimers, this is the only story I've ever read with the disclaimer for bestiality, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not quite sure what I'm getting into here.
Oh yeah, I figured I'd let that one go.
Well, that was my first bullshit calling. Okay, so here, let's just set the scene. Okay.
Do we have to?
So Xeno's holding court. A soldier has raped and impregnated a 12-year-old girl. Xena orders his her slow and painful death, because there is nothing that she despises more than rape and violence against women and children.
Mm-hmm.
And she's so angry and so wound up that she has to release this rage. So what does she do?
Mm-hmm.
She rapes and murders and mutilates one of her female body slaves.
Yep.
And has a rat. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's.
This was disgusting.
That's why I wasn't going to bring it up.
I don't think I cannot bring it up. I can't not bring it up. I have to. She has a trained rat that she puts between this bound woman's legs, and the rat commences to eat the woman's clit.
Yeah, it was nasty.
I mean, what kind of that? It just doesn't make any sense. If she is so, and then they say throughout, you know, and it makes a big deal about, you know, this guy ripped the front of this woman's dress and exposed her breasts and was grabbing at her, and you know, then that's, you have to defend against all of those things, but Xena herself is raping and mutilating and murdering. She killed that woman.
Yeah, she did.
Her to death, in addition to, you know, fucking her with a huge phallus that tore her to bits.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
I mean,
and you're right. It was just well, I don't want to say that.
It didn't serve any point. I didn't get it.
Well, the only point it did serve was to show the hypocrisy of Xena. Hello.
I guess. Wouldn't it have made more sense if she would have had a dude come in, or have the guy that raped that woman and have him come in and her have the rat eat his dick off, and then sodomize him with the big, huge, massive dildo thing? That
would make more sense, technically.
See, there you go.
Get to writing that, would you?
God damn it.
Oh, my God.
And you know, maybe it was one of those things like we've had many people point out when we go off on this kind of thing, where there's so many things hanging. You know, it's written online. Probably put it up in a couple of chunks here and there.
Yeah.
And then just, I don't know. And you know, so that things aren't able to get fixed or adjusted, and they're just left online.
Yeah, that could be. But I mean, the story wasn't totally irredeemable. I mean, there were a few interesting, you know, spots in there. I really smelled the pus on those bandages.
That was probably the best part of the book. The story.
Yep.
Just the visceral reaction I was having to that.
I had it. Yeah, I did too. And for you people who are going, what in the hell are they talking about now? So you can go find the book and go buy the story and read it. Ha!
Yeah, but I don't recommend it.
But yeah, I mean, she did have more of that, you know, like what she did in the latter half of the book and the first half of the book, and left off that strange, hypocritical, nonsensical, you know, bestiality scene would have been okay.
I don't like rats, you
know,
and then as soon as she pulls it out of the box, I'm like, oh, nothing good. Well, I thought she was going to jam the rat up her.
Yeah, I did too.
Which I think I probably would have preferred to.
Oh, no.
I don't know.
Okay, so anyway, this was, this was an interesting short story. I agree with Rev. I think it fell flat. I think the characters, and it was a short story, granted, but I still think she could have done more with the characters and brought them more to, you know, to life on the page. Seeing her own hypocrisy in the beginning. You know, you don't have to be sociopathic to be, you know, a merciless ruler. You know what I mean? I mean, you just...
Yeah, and then, you know, the happily ever after, I kept looking for more pages. I don't... What? Did I miss a chunk someplace? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed almost like she got to a certain point and then didn't really know what to do with it anymore and just wrapped it up.
Maybe, yeah. And I mean, psychopath, not sociopath. I know. Psychopath. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I can't say as I'll put this on my reread list.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. But, I mean, it was something different that I hadn't read yet.
Well, there you go. Now, you know, Vidi Vici.
There you go. Exactly. Yep. Woo!
Vidi Vici. All right. And next, we will talk about Exposure, which is pretty damn epic.
It's epic.
It is
epic squared.
Yeah, epic squared is right. Oh my
It's
God.
huge.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So Exposure, just a very, very, very brief. I'm just gonna very brief it.
Okay. See what you can do.
So Exposure, it was written as what I believe was a weekly serial that was supposed to be in the format of a like a network television show, which I thought was very interesting, and they stuck pretty well to that through most of the first season, I think, and then it kind of faded off on that. Like they would give a little teaser, it would say fade, and then next week on Exposure,
right? Yeah,
and then it'd give you a little thing, and
scenes for next week.
Huh?
Like scenes for next week. Yeah.
Yep. It was really, I really like that. So that's how it's set up, and it's set. It's about like a news magazine, right?
Yeah.
So like 48 Hours or 2020 or something like that. I don't watch them anymore, so I don't know what's there now. But one of those kind of things. So. You have a camera woman, Harper Lee Kingsley, who, when the story starts out, is this badass, motorcycle riding, thrill seeking, womanizing, beautiful woman who she's 25. She's like at the top of her game. She knows she's good. And then you have Kelsey Stanton, who is also called the Ice Queen, and she's a news anchor who despises tabloid journalism, and that's what Harper specializes in. She's the book opens up, the story opens up with Harper on a cops kind of show in LA with a drugged out statutory rape committing superstar,
right,
with a gun, and that's how you get the feel of who Harper is. And Kelsey can't stand that kind of stuff. She's very uptight, very straight-laced, closeted, a news anchor.
Big time closeted.
And she's in a fake romantic relationship with her best friend Eric Collins, who's a up-and-coming actor, and Harper knows right away. She's like, straight my ass.
Yeah, I love that. Straight my ass.
And Harper, after her filming, and because she's able to get the gun away from the movie star, and it becomes this big huge story. Harper ends up working with Kelsey. And so it's the beginning is their developing relationship and all of that.
Yep. That was good summary.
So there you go. So let's just kind of, and again, listeners, if you haven't read Exposure, there'll probably be quite a few spoilers in this. So take your chances. I don't think there's anything really earth-shattering that it's a standard romance, so you know where it's going and you know it's going to happen.
Well, no, you might not know what's going to happen. Trust me, with this one, they threw everything with the kitchen sink at your ass.
Well, you have to. Okay, now listeners, remember this went on for 4 seasons, which I'm assuming would be like 4 years.
Yeah, I imagine it was, but we read it in 2 weeks, so. Trust me, I went. I think I read at least a couple hours every single night for 2 weeks to get this story done, and I only just finished it. I want to say yesterday or the day before. And
I read it solid for the first week after our last show.
Yeah,
I read it solidly. Like I started it right the next day, and I read every day, and I only got 38% done.
Ooh.
Then I got sick, and I didn't read anything, and then I finished up the Boar Hunt. Oh. But I have read the entire thing, all of it once, almost all of it a second time, and then again this time. So I remember I think I remember just about everything because I love this story so much.
Yeah, this story is really, really good. I got to say, it was a pleasure to reread it, but this time rereading it, it really, really felt dated to me.
Oh yeah, well I mean it is. It's
it is.
Old.
You know, that's the problem when you work on tech. You know, have tech things in your story. Because the way technology continues to evolve every few months, you know, I mean, it's just like, oh my God, it's like a dinosaur with some of the stuff they were talking about in here with technology. I'm just, it kind of threw me.
Their dial-up and
yeah,
but I mean, it wasn't as bad as some. No. I mean, they did have cell phones, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah, but they were big old bulky things.
Yeah, their bag-o phone.
So I mean, I forgot how there are certain situations that these two get into that you don't anticipate. You know what I mean? Like, there's no lead up. There's just like things happen to them.
Oh, as far as like in relationship to the stories that they're on? Yeah, because they're working on, and you know, listeners, it feels like they're in constant peril and all of this stuff, that they're constantly doing stuff. But I have to keep myself in perspective, or keep my, I have to keep myself in check when I'm reading this, and remember that we're not seeing every story that they're working on. We're only seeing
the big ones,
a fraction of them, right?
Yeah, we're only getting to see the big fallout, the big fallouts.
I mean, they do save the world a few times, and that's...
Yeah, they do, actually. I mean, quite literally. They thwart a mad scientist's efforts to, obliterate people in New York City on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
They get in this hostage situation with these crazy, like Branch Davidian wannabes.
Mm-hmm. That's where you're introduced to the Twinkies.
Oh, yeah, the Twinkies. I've never had a Twinkie that I remember. I mean, I probably did when I was like 8, but I don't remember what the hell it was. But
well, you're not missing anything.
Yeah, no. And what else? A serial killer stalks Kelsey in this gets kidnapped.
Yeah, that one was really crucial.
Yeah, that was crucial. That was a big turning point.
And that affects Kelsey, throughout.
Yep. It does. It doesn't go away. And then they have the whole. What is it? There's in New Mexico.
The nuclear waste.
Yep, you have the nuclear waste
the
issue.
Native Americans.
Yep, and then you go back to New Mexico because there's this, this what is that? Clothing manufacturer that's roped these little 12-year-olds and handcuffed them, and all they do is just work in this sweatshop. Mm-hmm. I mean, my God, it's like nonstop Action Jackson.
It is, and the thing I like the most about this is the humor. There is such first of all, Kelsey and Harper have fantastic chemistry.
Yep.
Fantastic. I mean, it just leaps off the page. It really does. Mm-hmm. As characters, as people, they're very. I think they're very fleshed out. Mm-hmm. They feel authentic. Mm-hmm. And they each have, Harper starts out as this, you really do, you see a very big metamorphosis as you continue on. I mean, even very early, Harper is such the womanizer and egomaniac, and once you get her home with her family, she's a completely different person, and you come to learn that she is the most loyal, loving, dedicated person that you could imagine. And Kelsey, Harper grew up in this huge, Catholic family in New Orleans, very, very close with, her brothers and their wives and all of the kids. And Kelsey, on the other hand, has these tremendously cold, distant parents who moved her from school to school, boarding school to boarding school, and never, she's never really celebrated Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of those types of things with family. And
right, she had a hard time making attachments because of it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Which works really well with and it works really well with oh good God, Harper, because she is completely the opposite. So it was really interesting because when Harper took Kelsey home for Thanksgiving, I think that was the first time. The authors just really honed in on the experience that Kelsey had of what being with family really should be like.
Yeah, and they did a fantastic job of just capturing Kelsey's amazement and sadness and discomfort and everything, as well as the acknowledgement of her feelings for Harper.
Yeah, they did a good job.
My favorite parts of the book were in New Orleans with the family.
Yep.
I mean, Mama and the Kitchen Conspiracy.
I love that Kitchen Conspiracy.
It's fantastic. And her brother Lucien, who I just wanted to, rip his testes off.
Yeah, I want to choke him in his ass.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
Yeah, he is a bastard.
But, I mean, when you have... so Harper's siblings are all lawyers. One of them's a judge. They've all but one got, wives who, they all seem so well suited. And they've got kids and, and they're all right there together. It just felt nice. And whenever I read this, I want to learn how to speak French.
Oh, I know. I love it. Because I read them, I'm like, I know what that means without having... And I like how the authors do that. They'll put a nice French phrase or two in there, and then you'll either understand what they're saying by how the rest of the conversation goes, or they will, translate it so that you don't get left out in the dark.
Yeah. And, even when... the other thing that I like, too, is that when... in the first scenario that Harper and Kelsey get into together, it was unexpected. It was they were stopping for lunch, getting hot dogs, and there's a person with a gun in the public library. So they go in and Harper starts talking to this young Hispanic girl, and she's talking in Spanish. And instead of giving the literal translations, they didn't, because a lot of authors will do that. They'll try and do a literal translation instead of giving you what the words. What they mean. I don't know if I'm because most languages, when there's more to it than just the individual words. It's the feeling or the meaning that they convey, and that's how they translated it.
Yep.
And so for me, when I was reading the Spanish, I did okay. With the French, sometimes I was kind of lost. I felt a little bad, and that's why I wanted to be able to speak French. But also, I was happy that they didn't try and spoon feed me all of that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I don't like that as much.
Let me guess. You were thinking about Rosetta Stone, weren't you?
I was. And then I was seeing all these ads during the holidays. Rosetta Stone, 50% off at Amazon. And 50% off is still 50% too much.
Yeah, that's expensive as hell. And I think it takes you up to like what a third grader would speak. You know what I mean? So it's not like, your high school level by the time you get done with a box set. I mean, and I think that's it. I think there's like one box set.
Yeah. I don't know, but for $300.
Yeah, it ain't cheap.
But the other thing I wanted to say is that in addition to the chemistry that's fantastic between Harper and Kelsey, the humor, especially in the beginning, is just great. The one-liners, and I just want to read this one little bit because I was posting a few of them on Facebook and on Google Plus because I just help myself. But
I read them.
Kelsey's a big,
I read them.
I know. They made me so happy. I love to read anything that makes me laugh out loud, you know? So there was something going on in Kelsey. Her secretary, her assistant's name was Gail. And she says, I'm ready to drown myself in the cup of Earl Grey when Gail brings it back, but I can't figure out how to get both my nose and my mouth into the mug and inhale enough of the liquid to bring my demise. and just, there's just a lot of one-liners.
Yeah,
it's just really funny.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely worth a read. You can't help but enjoy this story. It's just, you just can't. I mean, there are a few places that are a little bit too much. Like sometimes they get a little bit too emotional, and they have these heart-to-hearts a couple of times about the same issues in different parts of the book. But, and I happen to gloss over those. I kind of whip through those. But overall, though...
No, go ahead.
Overall, though, between the dialogue, the fleshing out the characters, and the variety of different characters, and the sometimes peril of the two main characters, there's just nothing not to like, really.
Yeah, and I highly recommend that everybody read it all the way through once, and then after that, read until you're full.
Yeah.
That's what I do, because after a while, trying to sit down and read it all at once, it just gets to be too much.
Yeah.
I get like 3/4 of the way through. I'm like, like a good meal. I'm going to push away from the table now while I still feel good.
I like that.
And I don't have to feel bad about it. I mean, and they do bring some interesting. Toward the end, I don't know if it's because they needed to do some different stuff, or they were feeling like they were in a rut. But they bring in some different points of view that are not traditional, like the dog.
Oh yeah, and the babies.
And babies.
And the babies, yeah. Yes. Where you're reading through the eyes of the children or the dog, which is kind of interesting. The viewpoint changes.
And it's nice to shake it up a little bit. And since we've been kind of talking about this in different venues on the web. I've had some people say that the dog and the baby point of views are their favorite parts, and I've had other people go, "Oh God, I couldn't stand that. That was just over the top too much." I think I'm kind of in the middle.
Yeah, I think I was kind of in the middle too. The babies were really kind of cute. I mean, it reminded me of something Blaine Cooper would do. Remember how Blaine Cooper brought those, was it chipmunks or squirrels?
Squirrels.
And one of her stories, or a couple of her stories actually, they made an appearance in a couple.
They were featured in the story of me, and then they made an encore appearance in Road to Glory.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, it was Cooper-esque.
Yeah.
To see the baby part, actually, because I thought it was cute how Colin, they called him Fuzzy because the way his hair stood straight up. Yeah. And we were saying, "No, Mom, watch me. Oh, you're hungry? No, I'm not hungry." And then Brennan, the daughter, is like, So it was cute. It really was cute.
Yeah, and some of the situations, Kelsey gets arrested for prostitution.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
And even some of the side characters, the way that they use some of these secondary characters, like Susan the doctor,
Yep.
to bring out Harper's more jealous side and her possessiveness and even was the ex CJ?
Yeah, the cop. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, to be able to carry this off for so long and keep the dialogue great, and I mean, I think of what I read, I know that there were a few other bullshit things that can be called, but I think one of the bullshits that I had was, and it was just it was kind of a small one, when Harper goes down to she's in Ohio to work on that rape murder case, the guy that's on death row.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have. So apparently, this guy has been he's innocent. He's been wrongly sentenced, convicted, and there's a law professor and a class of law students who have been working on this for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. I think it was 2 years.
Yeah.
Trying to get a retrial or, something. Harper goes down there for a week and blows the case wide open.
I know. Well, because it's Harper. She's Superwoman. Da-da-da-da.
I know. was just like, okay, because nobody else could tell that everybody involved was related and covering up something.
True. Very true.
So that was my only real bullshit. I mean, they did solve a lot of stuff, but none of it I thought was as far-fetched as that. And I understand why they did it, because they needed to get Kelsey in there, and,
Yeah.
after her ordeal.
Means to an end.
Yeah. But everybody should read it, and that's all there is to it.
Yeah, most definitely. Be time well spent.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will, I'll make sure to post a link for both of these stories in the show notes. If you know somebody who has a compiled copy of Exposure, if you don't want to read it online, you may want to try and hit them up for it, because it took me hours and hours. Because when you're talking screens, 4 years worth of screens, weekly shit.
It's not on PDA fiction?
No, I compiled that shit.
Well, thank you, Rev. Dang.
I mean, I did it a long time ago, and I know that there are probably other ways to do it now. That there are different programs you can get, but I did that shit page at a time. Screen, copy. I mean, copy, highlight, copy.
Oh my God! Select all, paste.
No, I didn't want to do select all, because you don't want all those headers and whatnot. So I just click and drag.
What? It's easier to select all than just delete the headers and footers.
No, that took too long. It was just fucked up.
Oh, all right.
But
I'm
anyway,
not going to argue with you.
It's not something that was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you did it, though. Made my life easier.
And I'm happy to share.
Yay.
To people I know. Just
to people you know.
Yeah. Random people who are listening, I love you very much, but don't email me and ask me for a copy unless, there's something wrong with you that you can't highlight and click.
Oh my God, you're killing me. Killing me!
I tell you what, if you sign up for Audible for your free Audible trial, I will, and let me know, I will email you a copy.
Oh, there you go. Nice. I like that. Mm-hmm. Excellent idea.
Excellent. We didn't have any giveaways today.
No giveaways. That's all right. Keep them guessing. We'll have a giveaway next week.
Yeah, we will. So, we may have an author on. We may not.
We have an A and B plan, which we can't disclose at this time.
We have an A plan that involves an author that we're not going to name in case that doesn't go through. And our B plan, we can say the B plan.
Oh, I guess we could say the B plan.
Well, why don't you hang on for a second and check your junk and see if we have an answer.
All right, I'm checking my junk. Well, not that kind of junk. I'm just saying.
Do you have a hand mirror?
What?
Do you have a hand mirror to check your junk?
Oh, that ain't right. You ain't right. Well, it's New Year's Eve, so I can't imagine. No, there's no response yet.
Yeah, I guess not everybody's sitting at home, talking on Skype. Right,
or just sitting at home watching TV, hoping that an email comes through.
I don't see why not. Oh, hey, listeners, we have almost the first half of the year booked up. If there are authors that you would like us to get, post a comment or send an email to info@cocktailhour.us and let us know, and we can reach out to the authors and see if they're interested. All they can do is say no, or who the hell are you?
That doesn't happen as much anymore.
No,
it makes me feel good.
Yeah, now we just get hell no, not who are you, hell no.
or they don't reply. Those are my favorites. As a matter of fact, sorry, that was me. As a matter of fact, I'm still waiting for someone who said at GCLS that she would definitely be on as a guest. And it's 2 weeks later. I'm still waiting for an email back.
You're going to have to go through that other person.
No, not that one. I'll tell you offline who it is.
All right, because we don't want to share our embarrassment and rejection with all of you. We like to keep that to ourselves.
I know, right? And we have heard from the listeners with regard to another political show. We've been getting some some murmurings from the group out there. They would like to have us, you, me, and Colette Moody back on together to talk about politics, which we...
Yeah, we're just trying to pick a day now.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's on board. We're just trying to figure out when's the best time.
Yeah, we should actually follow up with that. Speaking of that, we'll take care of that tomorrow.
Yeah, we take care of that tomorrow.
All right. Well, shit, I guess well, let's talk about our plan B.
Oh.
We can talk about plan B, right?
Talk about plan B?
All right. So there's a book that I saw that was for free on Amazon. So I ran out and got it. It was called Mask of the Highway Woman, because I like highway women, and the cover is really cool. Mm-hmm. So and it was free for that day. It's not free now. It's only $3 and some change. So you can run out and grab that and help a debut author. Now Andy and I looked up the pronunciation of this woman's name, because I knew that Charlie would be immediate with the email, with a link. So it's spelled Niamh, and according to the interwebs, that's pronounced Neve. Okay, so it's Neve Murphy, and it's her debut book, and we read through the blurb, and it sounds interesting because we like that kind of historical badass woman, type chick.
Absolutely. So we have an A plan and a B plan.
Yep.
We will not be left in the lurch.
No, we will not.
Whoop.
So there you go. So Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks for spending 2012 with us.
Yep.
And 2013 is going to be a fucking knockout year for Cocktail Hour.
I'm hoping it's kick ass.
It will be kick ass. Awesome.
And remember, tell your friends, your enemies, whoever, to tune in, because, we need to build up our numbers, people. Building numbers.
Share the love. Don't you have a nice time?
Exactly.
Don't you? Mm-hmm. See? We have kitty cats who like to listen to us. Andy, purr. You haven't purred in a long time.
It's been a while. You want me to purr?
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm having performance anxiety. Hold on.
Oh, that was nice. See, now, Mastermind and Hunter are going to be doing good now.
Yep.
All right, then.
All right. Well, again,
do one more. Wait. Do one more. I like that. That sounded nice. Ooh, that actually made my nipples hard. And I've only had one glass of champagne.
Wow. Just
so I know it's not that.
Throw a little French in there and you'll orgasm. Just saying.
Ooh. You know what?
What?
So I want to talk about video games for just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Assassin's 3 fucking rocks.
I know, right?
I'm only to Boston. Thank you so much. That was a very thoughtful gift.
Oh, you're welcome.
And my son will be working on some art for you also.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Yeah.
He shook it and he's like, I think it's Legos. And I'm like, I don't think it's Legos, dude. And then when he opened it up, you could see that he had shaken it because...
Oh, they were out of their little...
Because they were out of the little things. Andy got my son some pastels, some oil pastels. So, yeah, he was pretty excited about that. So I got to find him some nice paper. So you should be receiving something in the near future.
Sweet.
Yeah. But so yeah, man, Assassin's Creed 3. I got all. Andy worked with my wife, and between the two of them, I now have all of the Assassin's Creeds, and yeah, I really like that free run.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I like the little side games you can play. I got my ass beat on 9 Square or something or other.
I didn't do any of those.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun. Yeah, so and like I said, I've been too sick to play. I played on Christmas. I locked myself. I went and laid down in my bed in my room by myself, and I played for like 2 hours until I couldn't keep my eyes open anymore, and then I went to sleep.
Aww.
But I'm feeling a lot better, so I plan on playing some more tomorrow.
Good. I have to get back to it myself.
So now you're like what, halfway?
Oh no! I might be maybe 38%, maybe.
Ooh, very cool. You still got a lot to go then.
Oh yeah, and I bought the season pass.
Oh,
so,
right.
Yeah. So season pass is like the alternate ending where George Washington agreed to become king, and apparently the main character in the game has to go unseat him.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Yep.
Ooh, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. The other game that I heard is supposed to be very good for Lord of the Rings fans is Lego Lord of the Rings. It's supposed to have that open world and a lot of quests and side quests and stuff like that.
I wonder if they have a game demo.
Oh, that's a good idea, because I almost bought it today, but after all the holiday spending, I just couldn't drop another $50. I think TJ ripped my arm off.
Yeah, I hear that.
Oh, lordy.
Yeah, check and see if they have a demo, because I was actually playing the Batman demo before mine now.
For the what?
The Lego Batman, the second Batman game or whatever.
We had that on Wii, I think.
Oh, well, I played the demo on Xbox, and I was like, oh, yeah, no. I mean, it was enjoyable to the point where I got stuck, and I'm like, oh, fuck it, and I turned it off and went to bed.
Oh, we have the Pirates of the Caribbean. That one's fun. I've played that.
Is it?
Yeah, that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. My wife got DJ Hero from my brother for Christmas for Secret Santa, so I'm hoping to maybe play that a little bit tonight. And then we had sibling game night on Friday night, and my brother Chuck, who helps us out a lot with all the website stuff, he and his wife brought Rock Band over and the drums and guitar and all that shit.
Oh, wow.
It was fun, so much so that we ordered the entire shebang with the keyboard and the bass.
Really? Holy guacamole.
I know, which again is why I could not bring myself to drop another $50 on entertainment today. But, football season's about over.
Yeah, it's getting close.
We're going to need something to do on Sunday afternoons now.
That's kind of sad that you're thinking about games instead of maybe, having a nice little twosome action in the bedroom with the wife.
We have an 8-year-old kid who, although he gets really into the video games too, so this may be facilitating that.
Hey, maybe. That's right. And we still have to play some more Civilization Revolution together. We haven't done that except that one time when you kicked my ass.
No, you were getting ready to kick my ass and then I quit.
Oh, that's how it worked.
It was midnight. I was tired.
Uh-huh.
I'm up for that because I played one more time by myself, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I won. So it made me feel a little bit more secure in what the hell I was doing, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Well, see now. The gloves can come off, and we can go kick it old school. I'll kick your ass.
You probably will.
I hope so. Yay!
Oh my goodness. Oh, and before we depart, I gotta say, I got some really, really cool gifts from you, and I really, really love them.
Did you?
Yeah, especially that Archer book. That was free. I haven't finished it. I just read it. It's hilarious.
It is hilarious. I just read the little sample on Amazon. I almost got TJ one too, but I didn't, because she loves Archer. I think I might get her the 3rd season.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because I can't find, it's not available on Netflix or Amazon, so she hasn't liked a TV show, like a comedy TV show like that, in I can't even remember how long. And it's so funny. And the book is just, from what I read, is really good.
It is.
Did you read any of the cocktail recipes yet?
No, not yet.
Because that part wasn't available on the sample, so I didn't get to see any of that. But that was intriguing. So maybe next time, why don't you pick something out of there?
Maybe, yeah. I was trying to read up to it, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's probably one of those I don't really have to.
Well, if you feel like peeking, if you don't get to that point yet, then do.
Okay. But I do want to do the Pim's Cup. Remember they had that in the show?
Oh, I know. That looked like it was a lot of work.
Well, I just opened the book, mind you. Page 86, Pim's Cup.
Well, that seems kind of like fate now.
I know, right?
It looked like a lot of work.
Cucumber, Pim's number 1, Meyer lemon juice, sugar, rosemary, thyme, mint, Meyer lemon, strawberry, and carbonated lemonade or lemon lime soda or ginger ale or ginger beer. I
still have a ginger beer. I made myself a Kentucky Mule the other day.
Did you? I drank all my ginger beer up. I had to get some more.
I did. I think that was the first time I made myself a dark boozy drink just because.
Oh, look, a Moscow Mule.
What's that?
2 ounces of vodka, 2 ounces of lime juice, and 5 ounces of ginger beer.
We should do that.
Yeah.
No, we should do something more,
Explosive?
more highway womanish.
Oh, because they have Molotov cocktail. That's awesome. Gasoline. 750 milliliters of gasoline.
Okay, I'm going to pass on that.
Oh, God, that's too
funny. You
funny.
continue to do research on that.
All right. Ooh, a peppermint patty.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. Check this out. Peppermint patty. 12 ounces of prepared hot cocoa. And it says scratch made, not instant. I shouldn't have to say that. 8 ounces of peppermint schnapps, mini marshmallows.
8 ounces?
8 ounces of peppermint schnapps.
Holy fuck.
12 ounces of cocoa, 8 ounces of peppermint schnapps, and then a bunch of mini marshmallows. That sounds fabulous.
It sounds like we'd be passed out before you got to click the stop button.
That's a long-ass show.
Thank you, listeners. We love you so much.
I love our listeners. Oh, my God. Oh, God, that'd be good. Awesome.
Right, well, we should probably release them from this torture.
Nah, they loved it.
Oh, well, Happy New Year, everybody. I'm going to go get some spaghetti and sausage and fill
yummy.
myself up with some more champagne.
Nice. Oh, I think sounds yummy. All the way around. Yes, happy, fruitful, healthy New Year to everyone.
Yay. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
It makes us feel good to be able to do this.
Yep. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Our warm, happy little hearts.
Notice we didn't say fuzzy or hairy.
No. No, Andy doesn't like hair.
No.
No.
All right. I guess it's ciao for now.
Adios.